When it comes to romance and love, are there certain placements or nakshatras that are super bad for it and certain that are super good for it?
I don't like to say things like that. Is some
Say it like
placements,
you want it then.
some placements are bad for romance or good for romance. It's very. It depends on who you meet and what kind of romance you have with them and what kind of karma you have with them in this life. It's not dependent on, because there's like a lot of fear mongering around this, right? In India itself, लड़की के चार्ट में मंगल दोष है तो उसका कुंभ विवाह करवा दो, लड़के के चार्ट में ये प्रॉब्लम है तो इसकी ये पूजा करवा दो.
Sure.
It's you're not really understanding the pain of the human being who's going through that kind of, suffering in terms of romance or their dating life or anything like that, which just sucks. Because Jyotish is supposed to be about helping people. And so whenever I do this like singles love reading, and 90%,
Singles love
yeah,
reading.
and so 90% of the people come in with the thought that, oh, I'm going to find my love. I'm going to tell them exact dates in which they're going to have a next relationship. It ends up being sort of a therapy session. I wouldn't say, I don't like to use the word therapy over here, but
If you want to watch small segments of the podcast, subscribe to Dostcast Clips.
it sort of ends up becoming me telling them to love themselves more, because this constant seeking for a romantic partner also comes from this place of where it comes from somewhere you're not giving attention to yourself.
Sure.
So that's my thoughts.
I think people end up finding very attractive partners that are right for them when they sort of rise up in their own eyes and, like you said, start with self compassion.
Yeah.
Of course, though I have seen something in my extreme high achiever friends that it is difficult. The easiest thing to love is to love your product or service or business. The hardest thing to do is to love yourself, because you
Right.
clearly operate from such a place of lack and insecurity and jealousy and hatred and malice. That is why you're able to build such massive towers, businesses, IPs, whatever. So,
Yeah, and it's also the hardest for them to love themselves is because they do it out of this impulse. This impulse comes from like, oh, I'll be liked by someone if I achieve a lot of these products in the external world. That's rarely ever the case. So it all begins from within, truly.